All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so happy that you're here today and happy Saturday. It's been a kind of a cloudy day here today, but pleasant. And it's been a really, really a great day actually looking at what's happening all over the Vetter Telegram groups. It's like you can't stop. But I last night I couldn't sleep because I kept on reading through all the messages. So any rate, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the daily discussion call and the dApp overview. And I'm so glad and thankful to be your host today. My name is Phyllis. I'm PSC 100X on the platform. And today we're going to cover, how you can best utilize the Vetter platform. And this call will be interactive. So I'm going to ask if, you kind of just, I'd love to hear from you. Nothing worse when you're in a call and you're just speaking to a screen and there's no interaction. So it'll be really great to be able to get some interaction from everybody here on this call. I'm looking forward to that. So just raise your hand if you have a question, or you can drop them right in the comment section if you like, and we'll go over them. I'll periodically glance over. And if you see an opportunity where you can kind of jump in because you have a question on what I'm actually doing right then and there, I don't have a problem with that either, as long as you wait until I'm done my sentence. Okay. So whether you're a veteran in our community or whether you are brand new, really with this dApp, I'm going to show you actually the best utility, the best research tool that I've ever seen in the crypto space. And I really, truly mean that. The platform can help you find many great gems. In fact, I just found one a couple of days ago and just, hit a 7X on that. And that's what brought me into wanting to talk about the Cronos platform. So if you're brand new here, don't worry. I don't want you to feel like you're going to be behind the 8 ball, because you're not. Okay. I am going to go through the dApp. So I'm going to be able to go through that, and you're going to be able to look and listen and learn as we go. But you can also go to vetter.ai and you can actually take a look at that as well. And just for everyone who, so we do this call every single day. Every day at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. UTC and 1 p.m. Pacific time. So today is April 23rd, and I am excited to bring this information to you. So what I'm going to start with today is just kind of go over a couple things that are kind of in the, the average, what I was actually telling you about reading in the Telegram group. So very exciting. Okay. First of all, I want you to realize that we actually were announced and released in Bloomberg. Very, very exciting. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to read that, go to the Telegram group and take a look at that. It'll get you really fired up. Also, we do have an AMA coming up on Wednesday, and that's going to be at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and that's 7 p.m. UTC. And that's going to be in the main Telegram group. And guys, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but I'm getting a little bit of a glimpse here. It says Vetter signals, token taxes, CEX, centralized exchanges. Oh my, again, atomic level announcements are on the way. And I'm telling you, the more and more I look at this, the more excited I get. I love look at the actual digital photo. It's incredible. If you look at it, right, it looks like the atomic, right? The atomic bomb, and right in the middle is the Vetter, the V. Very, very cool, exciting. So we got a lot of great things happening there. Actually, this is just a repeat. Again, just to reiterate, it's going to be on the 27th. You definitely don't want to miss that. Also in the news, in case you missed it, we also were listed in a NASDAQ press release. So you want to definitely go there and read it. It says Vetter to launch brand new ignition and discover Vetter Tracker, Vetter Signals, Vetter University, Vetter NFTs, Vetter TA, Vetter Vine, AI database. Okay, tokenomics and gamified scoring. Vetter platform is about to get a massive upgrade to its website and brand as it prepares for the launch of its multifaceted launchpad and an arsenal of dApps for all levels of the crypto environment. So guys, we are definitely in the right place at the right time. And basically the announcement was what last night was basically talking about. And this is how exciting, this is why I love this team. And I knew it all along because I've never ever wavered, not 1 second. And even when there was FUD or whatever was happening out in the atmosphere, I never ever once wavered, from where I knew this team was going to go. And it was very, very clear to me from the very beginning. And it was very, very, nothing that they're doing is shocking to me. Now, of course, what they're doing specifically is shocking, but in regards to where they're taking this and how they're actually doing this. And part of last night's message in Telegram was Mike was actually speaking about how the website just wasn't picture perfect for him. And you know what? I understand that because I'm that way as well. So to really, it takes so much time and energy and sleepless nights and the list goes on and on and on of what you have to do for perfection. And, I really give this team a lot of credit because I'll tell you now, it is not easy to be able to, kind of go back and redo things and make sure it's correct. But, mediocrity is just not a word, in the Vetter vocabulary. So that's exciting for me. And I hope that you feel the same way because you should. It's really pretty amazing. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about Cronos. Now, I am not an expert. In fact, I just started to actually look at it, but I thought, you know what, while I'm looking at it, why not share what I'm actually seeing? And if there's anybody on the call who actually uses the Cronos Network, okay, you can also chime in and educate us as well, right? Because I don't always have to be the educator. Like I've always say at every single call, every time I leave this call, I always leave with more information and more training that I get from you guys. So feel free to chime in at any time. So why Cronos? And I'm going to just go over it a little bit. It's a little bit over my head, but I'll tell you, I've been finding some really very good projects. First of all, it talks about being EVM compatible. So it's built on Ethermint. Don't ask me what that is. We have to actually investigate that, which supports rapid porting of apps and smart contracts from the Ethereum, over to the EVM compatible chains. So that's pretty amazing. And I'll share with you, I was actually able to flip some BNB through a site. And I know that Cronos is also coming up with swaps and things along that. They do have a swap. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It's scalable and Cronos can process more transactions per minute than Ethereum can. And guys, I don't know about you, but I used Ethereum for a lot. It's actually one of my top coins that I love, one of my top tokens. I happen to have a decent amount of that. And if the transactions per minute are more than, per minute or more than what Ethereum can do, oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. It's making it faster, cheaper, and greener to execute smart contracts. So to me, that was a real eye opener for me. Okay, it's interoperable. So the inter-blockchain communication, and they call it the IBC protocol, enables the bridging to the crypto.org chain and other IBC enabled chains such as Comos Hub, which I don't know what is, but we'll eventually, I actually do know what it is because I'm actually doing some research right now for the developers on some of the other networks that are out there. So we could, so I'm working on that with them. So I do know a little bit about it, but not too much to be able to educate everybody here. Okay, there's also proof of authority, POA, and I'm only going through this because, a lot of times there's lingo that I have no clue what it means. So when I come across things like this, I want to be able to share it because, once in a while, we'll hear these types of this, kind of language, and we'll be like, what are they talking about? So proof of authority is more streamlined and scalable consensus mechanism, consensus protocol, while still maintaining security with the range of validators that many different parties run. So what does that mean? I'm assuming that that they have a scalable mechanism, where I guess that's how the transactions actually are executed quicker, because they have a wide range of validators. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. I could be totally wrong, but you know what? We live and learn, right? And also open source. We welcome our community to review and provide suggestions to strengthen Cronos as well. And that's great, guys, because I can tell you now, we've been offering suggestions out to the Ethereum blockchain for ever, okay, and it's been real difficult to actually trade, without, with the slow system, and as well as how much money it costs to actually move from one thing to the other. So wallets that can be used on Cronos, you can use your crypto.com DeFi wallet. Okay, you can use a crypto.org chain desktop wallet, and I didn't even know they had that. So that's interesting. You can use your Metamask. I don't know what Math Wallet is, but if you do and you have it, you can use that. You can use Nabox. You can use your Trust Wallet, and you can use IM token as well. So these are some of the wallets that I know that are supported, through Cronos. So you can go ahead and take a picture of that if you'd like, because maybe you'll want to have that in your arsenal for later, in case you want to take a look at some of the projects that are going to be launching on, the Cronos network. Okay, so again, most of us use Metamask, but there are some Trust Wallet users as well. And I know I use crypto.com a lot. So maybe that's something that you, might want to be interested in looking at. So let's move forward. And I'm just going to share with you, where can you buy it? Well, I buy it through crypto.com. Okay, but you can also utilize what you have. Like I actually bought Cronos with my BNB. Now I had to move it, and I'll share with you how I did that. But, easy way to do that is just go to crypto.com, because, Crow is crypto.com, right? And they're, they're probably one of the number one, top exchanges out there now. And you can buy, Crow from there. It's real easy to do. Those of you who know how to do wallets, you're just going to actually, you have a crypto.com account, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to buy it. You're going to put your information in, your credit card, whatever it is that you need, and then you're going to be able to buy that. I just want to give you one little thing that to be aware of when you're doing that. Crypto.com, if you are sending money to a wallet that you haven't sent money to before, they want you to whitelist it. So that takes 24 hours. So I'm just letting you know that. I made the mistake of sending, I can't remember what token, but I had the token in two wallets, and I could have sent it to the other wallet, which I did whitelist, but I didn't, and wasn't thinking, and I sent it to the other wallet, which made me miss out on a trade that I wanted to do, because I had to wait 24 hours before I got the token that I wanted. So just a little bit of a housekeeping there for you to actually know, so that you don't run into that same silly mistake that I have. Okay. So, how do you add the network to MetaMask? And a lot of people have already asked me that. So get your cameras out and take a picture, take a screenshot of that, so that you see, okay, basically you're going to insert the network, okay, and that's going to be Cronos. And how do you get there? And I'm going to share with you how to get there and how to do it, but I'm just go ahead and jot this down so you know what it is, okay? Now, the website that you need the new RPC URL is exactly what you see, evm.cronos.org. We just learned about EVM, right? And the chain ID is 25 and the symbol is CRO, and the blockchain explorer. Okay, just like you would go to BSC scan or you would go to Etherscan, okay, is chronoscan.com. And on the right-hand side, you'll see what that looks like. It's just like using, Etherscan or using the BSC scan. You just, once you buy your Cronos, you pop your wallet address in there, and then you can see your transactions. So it's pretty much works like the other the other ones do out there. But these are some things that you have to do before you can actually even get involved with anything in the Cronos network, right? So you have to have Cronos, you have to have that in your wallet, right? So, the first thing you have to do, like I said, is you have to buy it. You have to set up your wallet, I should say first, right? Set your wallet up, and then you have to purchase that, and then you add, you buy it, and then you send it to your wallet after you set up the network. So I'm just going to share that real quick before I move on from here. Let me just go here to here. And basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be clicking on this little down arrow, okay? And you're going to add a network. Now I already have Cronos added, but I'm just going to click add network. It's going to open it up. And if you notice, this screen is exactly like I told you to take a picture of. Okay, this is exactly what that screen looks like. Okay, once you add all this information, you're going to click save. Once you click save, okay, you are going to have what looks like this. Okay, you're going to have a Cronos wallet. Okay, and this is where you can send your Cronos to, know you're going to need a little bit of gas, so you got to make sure that you have some of that, and that's basically how you get the network itself. Pretty simple. It's really not difficult, especially if you're used to adding, adding other things like we have in the past, with Ethereum, as well as with, BSC and so on. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I actually didn't have, I didn't want to have to go buy, my Crow, because I had so much BNB, so why don't I just use that, right? So this is a very easy site you can do that with. And again, it's just one that I like. It's real simple. You're going to hook the dApp up to your BSC network, okay? So not your Cronos, to your BSC network. And what you're going to do is you take your BNB, and then you can transfer that right to ELK, okay? And once you do that, you're going to be able to take ELK network, and then you're going to be able to transfer that ELK that you just switched out from BNB, and you're going to be able to send that over to Cronos, okay? And once you do that, that's going to appear in your wallet. So it's really simple. So let me just go through that one more time, okay? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the app.elk.finance, okay? You're going to make sure you're on the Binance Smart Chain. You're going to actually put in the amount of BNB that you want to swap. You're going to swap it to ELK, okay? Once it's swapped to ELK, okay, and you're going to have to add ELK too to your Metamask, okay? So just so you know that, so you can, if you don't, it's going to wind up going where it needs to go anyway, but you can add it if you want to see it get there. After you're done, you just go to ELK.net, and then you're ready to go ahead and swap that. You have to check this box. Now, when you do this, it'll go right to your, the correct chain. So it's pretty easy to do. Okay, but I just wanted to explain that because I did, that was a new experience for me working with there's other networks I've worked with in the past, but this seemed to be really simple. And it was one that I got recommended by someone who actually uses Cronos. So what I want to do is I do want to open up the lines real quick and ask if anybody has any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. As I say in every call, if I don't know the answer, you'll bet that I'll get it, and I'll make sure that I bring it back, on the next call, which I'll be doing on Tuesday. So any questions so far on what I covered?
Hi, Phyllis. It's Wanda. I have a quick question.
Sure, Wanda.
I did get into that token, but I haven't switched it back. So I'm thinking I would go to that app.elk finance and switch it back to my BNB.
Yep, that's exactly how you do it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And it was really simple. Honestly, there is a video that I could post for you.
Okay.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, I think I also saw another video. Someone was using an app called AnySwap.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yep, I just happened to like this. It was real simple to use. It was just my first experience with it, and I was like, wow, this is simple as heck. And I want to share it. So if anybody wants it, just send me an inbox message on Telegram or on Discord, and I'll be happy to forward to you what I used to actually.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions so far? All right. Well, thanks for being here, everyone. I'm actually going to go into the dApp right now, and I'm going to just start talking a little bit about projects. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the dApp as well. But I'd like to ask one simple question, and is if you're here for the very first time, meaning you're new to Vetter, you're brand new, you don't know anything, very little, okay? And guess what? It's okay, because we all started there. I love to be able to welcome you and, say hello. So is there anyone on the call that is new? You can go ahead and just raise your hand, let me know. Love to say, hello and introduce you to some of the other people on the call. So don't be shy. This is a zone where you can do and say anything you choose, so it's okay. All right. Well, if you're not going to tell me, that's okay too. But if you are new, I just want to say welcome to Vetter, welcome to the Vetter community, welcome to this most amazing, really this amazing platform that I'm going to share with you right now. So let's get started. And I'm actually going to be here because I wanted to show people, a lot of people don't know that you can actually get, to your dApp this way too. Okay, so you don't have to just go to Vetter, the Vetter platform. You can actually go to Vetter AI, and you can just click right down here on click here, and it takes you right there. Okay, and of course, the next thing that you need to make sure that you do is that you need to connect your wallet. So I'm already connected, but if you're not, I'll show you how to do it. You're just going to go, it's going to say connect, and you're going to connect, and then you're going to see your information here. If you're brand new and you want to know how, everybody's getting their avatars and getting their names up here, basically all you have to do is go to the edit. You have to put your password in again, and then you can go ahead and put in your username and avatar. And I'll tell you, I highly recommend an email or a Discord. And the only reason why I say that is because until we are able to communicate effectively via the dApp, if I see something, I can actually communicate with you, through admin and kind of help you along with something. So, feel free to go ahead and put that information in if you choose it. Okay, so that's basically how you do that. So what does all this mean? Okay, this is the Vetter dApp. Okay, it is used to look for projects look for projects on, how to, trade, how to look for pre-sales. That's pretty exciting, right? And so I just want to go over that with you. And if you're not brand new, I'm sorry, but I'm going to bore you a little bit because I do want to make sure that I'm able to help other people. And that's why I always start the call off with something that's a little bit more advanced, so I can help you as well. But here's the thing, guys. I can tell you now, every time I go to this app and wait over the next, I'm not even going to tell you how long, but over very soon, there's going to be some significant changes and they're going to be amazing. And so here's the thing, I'm just now stumbling on some things that I didn't even know exist. Like I didn't know that you can actually click on this and
look at the tier key to see.
And then the tier gets explained. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Like, how silly is that? I'm right here, right? Same thing, with Scout, Veteran, Voter. You can actually click this on whatever you're on, and there's a video there. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that you can do that. I was on the phone with Jeremy and he told me that. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. How silly. So my point is that I do actually come across things that I'm not even aware of. So just stay with me. This here is basically your little portal. This basically tells you how you're doing, what's your rank, okay? Whether you are a purple scout, green scout, beige scout, red scout, yellow scout, what the heck does that mean? That means that you are ranked, and you're ranked by the successes of your projects, okay? And you are voted on by your peers and also by a voting club that helps, make sure that the votings are solidified and solid and correct, okay? So every time somebody who is a scout, who is a purple scout, and they post a scouted project, they get $22.50 of Vetter sent to their wallet, their Vetter wallet. Okay, I posted 2 projects today here, Singularity and Titan. Oh, I spelt market wrong. I need to actually go back and fix that. But at any rate, so today, I made a little bit of better, right? 1750 times 2, pretty, I'm excited, 3,500, right? So therefore, actually, was it 35? Yeah. No, it's more than that. I can't even add. Anyway, 1750 times 2. At any rate, so you don't even have to be good at math to be able to do well, when you're looking at these dApps, right? So you can also get if you're a beige scout. And also, if you can look over here, this is basically, this is purple. Obviously, this is green. This is beige. Okay, red is when, someone may have just had maybe a bad day and they posted something that didn't do too well, but don't worry about that, guys. We all have them. And then yellow means that you're brand new. So as you can see, this is the month of April, and it gives you a breakdown of what, who the scouts are, by color. Okay. And why is that helpful? Because it's helpful for you so you can actually sift and sort through some of the projects by color. Now, this here is a hot list. And basically, this is a hot list based on, new project that just got launched, not launched, just got put on the dApp, okay? And what's nice about it is usually they're green or purple scouts. And then you can actually, if you wanted to take a look at them, it kind of cuts out a lot of legwork for you. You could just go to one of these and take a look. Okay, all these here, okay, basically open up the window of where you're at. Okay, so for instance, if you're here on team stats and you open that up, it's going to give you a bigger overview, a larger overview. Okay, up here gives you different things that can actually help you kind of make your way around the dApp. For instance, if you wanted to look at like, who the heck is the top paid scout? Well, here they are, guys. And if you look at them, okay, and there's also great leaders here too. If you look at them, then you can actually go and see, what it is that they're posting, right? And maybe take a look at, where they are and, what they're doing. Is it something that's of interest to you? Not saying it's going to do well, guys, because this is do your own research as well, okay? But you can look at the top tip scout. That's great, because that means the top tip scouts, okay, they were leaders because they actually produced a project where people actually tip them. So you get the drift here, right? It's really a nice little, I like it because it's something that if I'm in a hurry and I want to go see something quickly, you can actually see that very, very quickly. Next here is the tips and gains, and this is always an exciting piece for me. I love looking at this because I want you to look at this, guys. Whoops. Look at these gains, okay? This was a 30x on Sphere, a 30x, okay? Pretty amazing. This was a 10x on Diversify, a 3x. Carecoin got a 10x. Crow Market got a 3x. Crow Market again got a 2x. Okay. This is Emily's on the call. She got a 4x and on Pulino. Awesome. You know, myself, I got a 3x. Actually, I got more than that. I got a 7x, but I did wind up buying and selling again. So I'm just going to put the 3x out there because, you know, net, that's kind of, you know, that's the right thing to do. It looks like Ryan got a 3x and some Metal Ride got a 2x on Crow Market. This was one that was on the Cronos Network. Okay, so guys, this is pretty exciting stuff. Okay, really exciting stuff. And I love sharing it because congratulations and kudos to those who actually made these trades, right? But also what's nice about this too is that you can actually go to the gains and tips, okay? And then you can actually see, well, let me go back to this is a little bit easier. You can actually go to the gains and tips and you can see these are the people that actually tipped those scouts where they made some decent funds, okay? Pretty awesome. So that's great news. So you don't have to tip people, guys, if you don't choose to, but if you want to, it's always great. It's like a little thank you to say, hey, thanks, you know, for allowing me to, you know, I took part in something that you did the research on and I did well. So thank you. These are the tiers. Okay. Now the tier rankings, it's the higher the tier, the more access you have to the calendar. Okay, and I'm going to share with you what that means. So if you're at the tier down here, you have some access, but it's limited. But I do want you to know, and I want to be very clear, that everything I'm showing you today is all at tier 4, because that's what I'm at, tier 4. So just know that everything you're seeing is at the advanced features, okay? And the ones below it, even though every time you advance to another tier, okay, you do get more access to it, okay? So if you are at tier 1, that means that you have 10,000 vetter, tier 2, 25,000, and 100,000 and 500,000. That's how much you own of vetter, and that pretty much unlocks each tier for you as you actually get there. I want to just share the video library really quickly, only because it's going to be something that is going to be filling up pretty quickly. Hopefully, we're going to get some of that out to this weekend. I said that last weekend, I know, but this is a definite project. It's not something, it is it's a lot of work, I can tell you that. So what we're doing is over time, when you're going to be brand new, it's going to kind of look like this. Let me just give you a little bit of a glance. Okay, these are the Vetter Trading Club series, and you can only really access this if you are at the higher tier or if you're in Discord. Okay, but what's going to happen is we're going to have how to use Metamask, and this is going to be all the series, okay, that's wrapped around Metamask. So it's going to be very, very easy to follow. Okay, I'm really looking forward, to that. Okay, we've made some videos, we've done some scripting already, so we're pretty much getting ready to roll it out. We're just waiting for the scripts to be approved because we want to make sure that we're giving you the right information, right? So let's go to the calendar and let's take a peek. Now, this calendar up here, these are all tier 4. You can use these at tier 4. And this is great because what you can do is you can actually kind of collapse time frames in how you want to use the dApp. And I really like that, because then what you can do is you can actually, if you're in a hurry and you want to look at things that you're specifically looking for, you can do that by narrowing it down. So for instance, if you wanted to see only things, that are on, like, say, Binance, okay, it's only going to bring up those Binance tokens, okay, which is great. Okay, because then if you're limited on time, you don't have to scout through all these things if you're an investor and you want to look. Okay, launch pads. Well, the BSC pad and Unicrypt, you actually have to hold the token. So if you don't hold the token, you may not be able to use that. Okay, so you may want to eliminate that from your search, because why have it on there, right? I'm just going to actually uncheck this. Why have it, when you really, and I'm sorry, yeah, Unicrypt, why have it up if you really can't get to it? So, oh my goodness, guys, I got trigger finger, don't I? Let me just get back to what I was doing. All right, sorry. All right. Let me just get back to the calendar. All right. So you can actually do that and search by a particular network or a launchpad. The categories is basically exciting because some people just may be into, I don't know, utilities. Some people may just be into gaming, or may only want to get into launchpads, because launchpads is something great to be able to get into in the beginning, right? Just like our launch pad's going to be, because the more VEDR you hold, okay, the more access and more royalties and everything you're going to be able to get with the new launch pad. So maybe you want to take a look at launch pads. Maybe you're into the meme tokens or NFT tokens or reward tokens. It's entirely up to you. But again, if you're in a hurry and you want to just go to one thing, you can go to it and pick it out yourself. The event types: private sales, pre-sales, fair launches, and IDOs. Now, private sales, I always do a little warning here to let you know that you really need to be careful. If you jump into a private sale, you please make sure that you know who those people are, okay? Because if you don't know who they are, again, if you don't know who they are, then you're going to actually, you could wind up getting into something that is not conducive for yourself. Matter of fact, someone said to me today they were going to take a look at one, and the first thing, my question is, do you know them? Now, VEDR, you know that who the people are behind the VEDR token. They've been successful. Okay, so if you were going to get involved in a private sale like we have in the past here, then I wouldn't be too afraid to do that, in my personal opinion, because we know the success rate of the team. Pre-sales is basically, well, let me explain. Private sale is basically, that's the bare bones minimum that someone actually pays, and also they're the ones that actually, pretty much are kind of get in kind of first. Pre-sales, the same thing. The pre-sale price may be a little higher, okay, but you're also, have the ability to be able to get into the pre-sale, first. Fair launches is when they're really not using, a private sale or pre-sale. They're just actually going to launch it from a launch pad on a specific date and time, and you're just going to go there and just kind of get in, and do your thing. And IDOs, a lot of these you need to have tokens for. So if you have tokens, then you can actually participate in them. So rank, I talked a little bit about it. Purple is where the purple scouts are the ones that, have a very high success rate. Okay, if you want purple and green, you just click down a level. If you want them all, you just click all ranks, and then you could take a look at them. I can tell you guys, I've made some really good funds on some beige scouts. So don't get too taken, don't shy away from them, okay? Because they have some really, I was a beige scout at one point, right? And I've been scouting and vetting for a long time. And sometimes you just put a project out there that doesn't do well. So you have to get dropped down a bit. Doesn't mean that you're bad. Okay, so take a look at what you feel is best for you. Oracle, another one that, for tier 4, they have the different durations. This is basically, if you wanted to see something and get involved in something like that, typically a scout will do, and usually in 24 hours, it'll do well. You might want to take a look at them. Maybe you're short on time and maybe you're short on cash and you wanted to make a little bit of a quick run. You can do that. Say you're going on vacation and, you don't want to do anything unless it's like something that maybe does well in 30 days because you're not going to be here for a couple of weeks. I don't know. There's reasons why people do want to look at these. So in my opinion, it's really worth looking at. I like this too, because I'm on the dApp every day, right? So I like to know maybe what's the recently added ones? Why do I want to go through all these again, right? All I want to know is what was added after the last time I was on this. Okay, so you can go to scouts only, you can go to vetted only, you can go to tokens that are ready to launch. I suggest that you kind of just go through these and see where it takes you so you understand a little bit more about them. Okay, now your favorites, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. Maybe you only want to go to your favorites. I keep on forgetting about that, because I'm always going back to my favorites because sometimes they're ones that I've actually scouted and I want to go back and keep track of them. Okay. And there might be favorites that I'm looking at that you've actually posted that I want to take a look at on a regular basis as well. So these are just really good ways where you can actually, collapse timeframes for yourself. You can look at this and by month, by week, by day, by list, however you choose. Okay, I happen to like it this way. It's just something that I'm used to. But however, you can use it and utilize it anytime or any way that you choose. So I do want to go to the calendar because I do want to focus on, just maybe a project or two. I do want to ask if anyone, here would like me to take a look at a project. I'll be happy to do that. If not, I will jump on the calendar myself and I'll find something and we can take a look at that. Anybody want me to do anything?
Phyllis, this is Emily. Are you only looking at certain types of projects?
No, I mean, I'm not going to look at microcaps, but I'll look at any kind of project. The only projects I don't usually do on here are the IDOs because a lot of people don't, really have access, to the tokens. But I'm happy to look at it if that's one you have.
Well, Coyote Coin is launching on Monday. They've already had their pre-sale though, so it's just going to be a launch on PancakeSwap on Monday.
Okay.
It was scouted by Dan and vetted by me.
Okay, well, why don't we look at it? But I'm going to probably ask some questions just because I want to make sure that just so everybody knows, this already had what's it called again? Coyote.
Yeah, COYOTE.
COY. There you go. Just let me explain so everybody knows, okay? This had already had a pre-sale, okay? And so that means that what they're gonna do is it already was on was it on Pink Sale?
They had their own, they did it themselves.
So they launched
like
it.
A private sale where you sent tokens to them and they're gonna airdrop the tokens before launch.
Okay, so so it actually was a private sale.
Yeah, I mean, they had their own app, but yeah, it was run like a private sale, but they called it a pre-sale.
Okay. So you had to send your funds to a wallet or a contract.
Yes.
Okay, that's a little different than what I'm talking about, but I want to we're going to do it anyway because I want to make sure people understand. Okay, with the pre-sale, like that, typically you're done through a launch pad, but they did it through a dApp, an app, kind of like what we did, with the private sale for the new token. Not saying it's bad. Emily's a great vetter, and I know that. And LDN is also a good scout. So they must have information about them in order for them to want to actually jump into this. So question I have, a couple questions that I'll ask you, since you're a part of that community, I don't have to go to the Telegram group, is what did they raise? How much did they raise in their private / pre-sale?
They raised $980,000 in about 22 hours. And the interesting thing about that is their Telegram group had less than 600 people in it at that time, and they had only done word of mouth marketing. Like, they had not paid for any marketing before that pre/private sale.
So basically it was organic growth, and people just bought, what was the minimum and maximum on that?
I think there was no minimum, or maybe it was like $100, and then maximum was $20,000 worth, which sounds like a lot, but this is a project that one of their claims is that they have anti-whale measures with their Harpoon Tax. And so even though someone could have had a large bag in the pre-sale, they will get taxed highly if they try to dump that all at once.
Okay, so all right, well, was there any other sale prior to that? Any seed
No.
sales? No. Okay. So, so they had kind of like a private sale, so to speak. So that means, so everybody knows, that means that on Monday, before they go public, that means that they're going to get tokens that they've already purchased, right to their wallets. Okay. So when they open up Pancake Swap, okay, the opportunity for them is, they can go ahead and they can sell if they want to, buy more if they want to. But typically what happens is, and I'm not saying it's going to happen here because I don't know much about the project itself, but if it's a utility, and I don't know whether or not, were any of the pre-sales or private sale tokens, were they any of them vested? Do you have to hold them for a certain period of time?
No, there's no vesting.
There's no vesting. Okay, so in theory, in essence, if I were looking at this and they didn't launch yet, I like the fact that they were aggressive with their hard cap and soft cap. I probably would have been a little skeptical, and actually I was, and that's why I didn't participate in it, that they were going to be able to actually make this, especially with the amount of Telegram group members that you mentioned. However, it just goes to show you that we all can be wrong. So they did make their, they made their hard cap, and they did it over a 22-hour period. And so what's going to happen is those individuals who actually got involved in that process are going to get airdropped, and theoretically they could, go in there and sell off their tokens while you're trying to buy. Now, that's typically what happens when we look at a pre-sale, right? We see, if you're in a pre-sale, typically what everybody's doing is they want to get a 10x, 3x, 5x, and then they have a particular number in their head that they want to actually get. And then once they get to that number, they're going to want to take, most of the time they're going to take out their initial investment and maybe some profit. Okay, so just want to let people know that, so that when you are, if you are looking at this as a possible, buying, on public Pancake Swap, you just know that that's typical in every single project. You'll see that even with when we launch our RV pad, right? Because we're going to get, we'll probably get our, we're going to have our tokens, we're going to have all that, so That's typically how it works. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. It really depends upon the utility. Is this something that people would want to hold on to their tokens, Emily?
I think so. They have a really, strong community of support, and they have there's their reflections plus their utilities coming. They're going to have a swap, and they're going to have a bunch of other features that are coming in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, there are incentives. I think plus, yeah, there are incentives to hold.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So, so just so you know, do you want to talk about it a little bit, since you've kind of got involved, or do you want me to go through it, or?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you ask? I was in the car and I was getting a mess. My
Okay.
car was talking to me.
I said, do you want to talk to anybody about it? Do you want to just kind of, go through it
Sure.
with them? They can listen in. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you want me just to go through what the coin is and the tokenomics and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sure. So yeah, Coyote coin is, I mean, you might call it a meme utility coin, but it does have utility. The founders were previous crypto investors in SafeMoon, which is, I think everybody knows about, and they left that community to start their own project because they saw a lot of flaws in that coin, the tokenomics, and how it was being manipulated by whales. And so they left that project to start their own project. And that's how they got Coyote. They've got a lot of people with experience in, blockchain. Their developer, blockchain developer Bullish, has a lot of experience. He's been explained as the developer that other project developers go to when they need help. And so they've got a really capable, experienced team. They did have an issue.
Do you know their name? You know who the developer is? You know who the developer?
He goes by Bullish.
He goes by Bullish.
Yeah, and there's another name and I can't remember it, like his actual first name. And so they did have an issue with their first launch, where the liquidity was sniped, but the team was going to actually just make that up on their own, and they didn't have to, because the community rallied and a lot of new people came in and wanted to actually, take the place of the lost.
Hey, Emily, I think we lost you.
And then they had a Surtech audit just to make sure there are no other, exploits or anything else that could be wrong with the contract. That Surtech audit is now completed. The core team members have done KYC with Surtech as well for this launch. Some of the things that set this project apart is they have this Harpoon Tax, which is 33%. The normal tax is 12% per transaction for buys and sells. And a portion of that, 4.75%, is for reflections. And then there is an automatic burn.
So is the Harpoon Tax like an anti-whale mechanism?
Correct. So in the first 24 hours, if you try to sell, more than 0.25% of total supply, it kicks in. After 24 hours, it's based on the previous 24-hour sell volume. So if any wallet tries to sell more than 5% of the previous 24-hour sell volume, then the 33% Harpoon Tax kicks in. And
you guys understand that, right? Because maybe explain it one more time, just so people know, because it's if you don't know and you're in this and you're getting ready to actually, sell, you want to make sure that you're selling within the right time frame, so that you don't get, that huge tax.
Yeah, well, 0.25% of total supply is still a pretty significant amount, but I think it'll just prevent like the very, very large dumps in the chart, but there could still be a sell-off like most projects. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at launch. But yeah, the normal tax is 12%, and the Harpoon Tax kicks in at the two levels I mentioned. The first 24 hours is based on total supply, and then after 24 hours, it's based on the previous day's sell volume only. And that's to help stabilize the chart, essentially. And so that was one of the things I think that was pretty great. And with the Harpoon tax, the amount of reflections that goes back to holders increases, and they increase the marketing fees as well. But yeah, they have a lot of different tools coming that they're going to use. And I do need to, I see now that I do need to update where I say Yoti. It before the exploit, it was YOTE.
Right.
And now it's Howl, HOWL. So thanks for bringing this up, because I need to go in and change that so people aren't confused.
I have a quick question. The token supply, where's the breakdown on that?
So public sale is right underneath where it says public sale 27.7%,
Oh,
team,
gotcha.
operations, reserve, and then DEX liquidity. So another cool feature about this is they've been in conversations with some DEXs already, and they're planning to, with some centralized exchanges, and they're planning to list on centralized exchanges as well as decentralized exchanges very soon after launch.
Okay.
And they plan on keeping their tokenomics. And so a lot of centralized exchanges don't allow you to have the taxes and reflections, but they're only going to list on those that will allow them to. And I think what they explained is that these exchanges usually make you, pay fees to be able to do that, but it is possible. So they might not be on the biggest ones, because I think some of the biggest ones don't allow reflections and taxes, but they've been able to negotiate to allow their tokenomics to remain on the centralized exchanges that they're talking to.
One other question. What it says here, reserve 16%, equal installments over 24 months, each phase duration specified, combined with coin price target. You know what that's used for?
So they have I can't remember exactly what it's used for, but they have a performance unlock. And I'm not sure if the reserve is part of that, but I think because it says over 24 months, or that might be for staking. I can get clarified. I'll get that clarified.
I just actually was just curious, because I personally, I don't, when I see things like what's the reserve for, and I'm sure it's something decent, but I like to always know, what's the reserve? Is the reserve for what? Is it for, team tokens?
No, that's great. No, it is explained in the white paper. I just didn't put it in there,
Okay,
but I will get that. I'll get that clarified and add that to the notes.
That'd be great. I appreciate that. Anybody
Thank
have any
you.
questions for Emily about this project? No? Let me see. Any hands raised? All you have to do, guys, is when it says, you have to just kind of ask, you kind of ask to be unmuted. So if
Hi, Phyllis.
Hey, Wanda, how are you?
Good. I have just a quick question. I missed at the top. Is it on the Binance Smart Chain, or is this Ethereum? What is this?
They are launching on Binance on Monday, and they are bridging to Ethereum within a few weeks. So it will be dual chain, but they're launching first on Binance.
Great. And what are the reflections?
For the reflections are 4.75% for normal transactions. And if the Harpoon tax is triggered, then it goes up to, can you scroll down a little bit, Phyllis? I think it goes up to,
I was just going to do that.
Okay.
To 12, it goes up to 12% if the Harpoon tax is triggered for that transaction.
Perfect. All right. It's too bad we missed the pre-sale. I'm always missing the good ones.
Well, yeah, it was, yeah, we didn't have much time for this pre-sale, but yeah, I think it'll definitely be one to watch, because they have some interesting things. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to watch it, because if Bullish is somebody that we should put on our GOAT list, we'll see how this project goes, and we should kind of follow, especially if there's going to be any kind of ecosystem around what they're doing. It looks like Rudy has a question. Rudy, you want to ask a question to Emily or me? Okay, you can go ahead and do that, Rudy. Oh, I don't know what happened, but you're gone. All right. Oh no, you're here. Rudy, do you need to, you need to ask a question? You can. All right, maybe you just hit it by accident, no problem. All right, guys. Well, Emily, thank you so much for doing some of that. I was actually gonna jump into a couple projects, but this was great that you were here to kind of go through, being the vetter and all, because typically what I would do is I would go pick up a project and then go vet it, kind of go through some vetting techniques while I'm on this call. So you did it for me. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it has been at the top of the hour, and you guys have been a great audience today. I love the information that you share. I love that people are communicating with us and asking questions, and I'd love to get some more of that happening. But I think once you start to get a little bit more familiar with the platform and with the system. But I can tell you now, it is pretty exciting, what we have going on right now in our vetter community. So if you, we do these calls every 6 days a week, actually, at the same time. And the next call is going to be on Monday. I believe Ryan will be doing that call. I'm not quite sure what the topic's going to be, but I'm sure it'll be something juicy, because it always is. And that's it. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for you who are listening also on the recording, and thanks for those who have been live here this whole time. It's really appreciated. I had a really great time. And again, as I always say, I learn something every single time, I leave, from you as well. So thanks for being here, everyone. Have an amazing night tonight and a better tomorrow. And I will see you on the next call. Take care.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Welcome.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank